Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time. And we're here with Resident Evil. The original! No remastered, no remake, no sequel, no nothing. Original Resident Evil 1996 for the PlayStation. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of those times where this is just put here out of respect, but I guess we can see. I imagine I'm just going to be frustrated by it. But I've never played it before. I've never played any Resident Evil before 4. But I've played 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then also Umbrella Chronicles I think I've played as well. So the early Resident Evils with the tank controls and stuff, just nope. Oh, I've also played the 2 remake. Now, there is a remake of this, but it's not... Actually, I don't know. Does the remake have tank controls? I would kind of think it still does. Hold on. I'm just gonna pause this so we don't have to keep hearing that scream and stuff. Let me just look real quick at some footage of the remake. No, I don't think it has tank controls, but it has the same camera. The same camera as the original. So anyways, yeah, so my first and only exposure to this game was, I'm pretty sure, in 1996. I would have been 6 years old. I went to my aunt and uncle's house. My cousin, who was a good deal older, he probably was like 16. He had a PlayStation, and he had Resident Evil. And he's like, hey, I got this really cool game. Come check it out. Takes me into his room where he's got the PlayStation and his TV, turns off all the lights, shuts all the shades, everything. Like, it's pitch dark in there, and he just starts up Resident Evil with like the opening cutscene and stuff, and I'm just like shitting my pants. This was before I was into horror or anything. I mean, I'm 6 years old. This is traumatizing. But yeah, so maybe that's why I just avoided Resident Evil in general for years and years and years. And maybe that's why I don't like survival horror games. Who knows? It's possible. But anyways, Resident Evil, Capcom. This was originally intended to be a remake of a game called Sweet Home from 1989, another horror game. So you can sort of see why it's called Resident Evil. Although it's not the Japanese title anyway, so I guess that doesn't matter. Yeah, Biohazard. And so it's a survival horror game. It's certainly not the first. I think didn't we look at one that was like a survival horror kind of game? Oh, Alone in the Dark we played. Yeah. Alone in the Dark. which was pretty shit. And that was only a few years ago. A lot of people consider Sweet Home to be like the first true survival horror game, 1989 for the NES. And I think if you're probably a Resident Evil fanatic, you should check out Sweet Home, because this was supposed to be a remake. But, anyways, I guess let's just start it up, see how campy it is and all that. Hold up. There we go.
Resident Evil.
Alright, we get to play as Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine. Well, I gotta play as my boy Chris. Cover art for this game is so weird, with like giant spiders just like overlaid on it, and I don't know, it's just so odd.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
You haven't found it?
No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Hey! Come here!
Joseph!
No! Don't go! Jill, run for that house!
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously now that's like just insanely campy, but I can't tell you how fucking terrifying that cutscene was
I don't know what
for a
happened.
6-year-old kid in 1996. With
Barry,
all the lights off. I mean, that was my first exposure to horror, most likely.
No.
Enough that it's still ingrained in my memory, you know?
I'll go and check.
Okay, Jill and I will stay in the hall in case of an emergency.
Chris? Take care.
It just immediately split up. But yeah, I mean, 1996. You've got 3D environments, live action cutscenes, voice acting. I mean, this is pretty impressive stuff. Alright, so, tank controls. Again, if you really have no idea. Left and right, turn your character 360 degrees in place. And then, depending on where you're standing, forward moves you forward, back moves you backwards. So it's a little bit of a ballet. Like, moving down a hallway and stuff is obviously very simple, but action sequences are tricky. Okay. Right. And then there's your room transitions. So I can load in each new room. And our very first zombie. Alright, so let me just... So, yeah, alright. We've got, a dagger. Already got bit. There you go. First zombie of... Oh, wait a minute, he's not dead. Fuck me, I'm terrible. He should be dead now. Yeah. Okay. Great. And we're in danger already, so we can heal. Resident Evil is often credited with being a major factor in the resurgence of zombies in pop culture. And it's just sort of insane to think that there was a time period where zombies were not, like, fashionable. And there just weren't that many zombie things coming out. Movies and shows and games and stuff. Okay, I wonder if text is appearing and the emulator's not handling it too well. I think that would actually make sense. I wonder why that would be. Let me just look real quick. It's a GL bug switch to Vulcan? Alright, give me a second, I guess. Alright, we got it. So now, you can see that it says it's locked from the inside. So this corpse probably said something illuminating. Oh, Also, I got a clip. That's good. Another clip. Also good. Good thing I went back to check. Alright, then we're probably good. Yeah, so issues. Tank controls, obviously big issue. Camera, big issue. I don't know, maybe just the overall, like, the overall controls, I suppose, or pace, you know, something with the combat. But that's really mostly falls just under tank controls. That's the biggest problem.
Wesker? Jill? What happened to Jill and Wesker?
I mean, the other things like the graphics, the sound, the voice acting, the campiness, none of that's really, like, that negative. I will take the Beretta. It's got 15 bullets in it. Why would she drop this? I don't know, it's ours now. So yeah, I mean, like, RE4 was such a huge mega hit because, I mean, for one, it just became more of an action game. But two, I mean, it just was so much more accessible as far as the controls and everything were concerned. That was my first Resident Evil. And I didn't really have any issues with how it played. Okay. Obviously, I imagine there's very little reason to play this over the remake. And I'm kind of surprised they don't just remake it again, but I guess there isn't really much interest. I don't think, like, a whole lot happens in the plot of Resident Evil 1, but I don't know. It is a little surprising they just skipped over it. Went straight to 2, 3, 4. I feel like with their engine, you know, it couldn't be that much work to just remake 1. Oh, shit. Wow. I don't think that son of a bitch is dead. Keep your distance. Alright. We got 6 bullets left. Now, if I... Okay, good, yeah. there must be a way to just kill them while they're on the ground. But if not, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, so I mean, for one, survival horror isn't really my thing, and the early Resident Evils are definitely more in survival horror than, like, action horror. More action horror than some games, certainly. I mean, you have a gun. Fuck. Bullshit. Oh, there go all my bullets. Damn. Can't even loot these dudes. Outrageous. They're not even dead? Oh my god. Crazy shit. But yeah, I mean, in 1996, this was a scary fucking game. The music and the whole foreboding atmosphere and things like that. The grittiness to it. Zombies. Limited ammo. No doubt. I have one bullet left. Save it for yourself, man. Damn it. I'm sure there might not be a way to kill him on the ground, so. And then you just turn a corner and there's another one that's just been waiting for you. And then he bites you, because there's nothing you can do. And then you're dead. And since I don't think I saved, that's probably game over. Yeah, alright. Well, there you go, Resident Evil. Before I make a declaration, let's do the thing. Best Resident Evil. The Washington Post weighed in here, ranking all Resident Evil games. Wow, they put Resident Evil 6 as the worst one. Jesus. I don't know about that. Code Veronica is better than 6, huh? Lego and I really enjoyed 6. I don't know. But it's not a survival horror game, I guess. Alright, they put the original at number 8. They also put Village at number 7, so I don't, this is probably can't be judged too much. But I assume if you're going to rank 13 Resident Evil games, you've got a pretty good idea of, like, what you want out of the Resident Evil franchise. But of course, they put 4 at number 1. But if you like 4 that much, I don't know how you could dislike Village that much. Right? I mean, I don't know. Alright, Collider. They put, they only did 10 here. They have Resident Evil 5 last. And then followed by Resident Evil Original. Did they put... Oh, they put Village at 6. This is crazy. Yeah, I mean, again, I guess, like, if you want Resident Evil to be a survival horror series, Village is really not that, which is why I liked it so much. They put number 1 as the Resident Evil remake, though. Interesting. What else we got? TheMarySue.com, ranking 13 Resident Evil games. They also put Resident Evil 6 at last, followed by 5. They put Village in the middle. They ranked Resident Evil Original very highly, at like 5th. But they put Resident Evil 2 Remake as number 1. That's probably debatable. With the Resident Evil Remake at 3. Let's go to Reddit, the voice of the people. What is the best Resident Evil from the Resident Evil subreddit? For me, it's a tie between Resident Evil 2 Classic and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Alright. Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 7. 1. Okay, so there is a strong vote for just OG 1. 7. 1 Remake. 2 Original. 2 Original. 3 Original. 1 Remake. Code Veronica. 4 or 2 Remake. 4. 2 Remake, 1 Remake. Original 2, 1 Remake. Original 3, 2 Remake. 2 Remake. 7. 5. 7. 4. 1 Remake. Okay, let's try a different, try a different thread here. I'd like to get out of the Resident Evil subreddit if possible, but those people tend to know. Yeah, alright. Apparently they go through this fairly often, of ranking. Actually, let's find one where they actually put a poll, that people voted on. No, I'm not finding one. Okay. I'm not finding a poll. But, I mean, they constantly rank all the games. Alright, so this person put 1 Remake at number 1, followed by 2 Remake. Oh, no. No, never mind. Ignore what I just said. They put 1 as 7, followed by 4. Actually, I don't know. Let me just ignore. I don't know how this person is ranking them. They ranked 6 different games twice. I don't know. Let me just ignore everything I just said. Alright, best Resident Evil games. Most people would go with 1 Remake, 2 Original, or 4. My favorites are 3 Original, 1 Remake, 5. Two Original, 1 Remake, 4 Remake 2. 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 1 Remake, 3 2. I think, okay, I think that's good enough. Bottom line is, most people would say the remake of 1 is just better than the original. Which makes sense, that's how it should be, really. But aside from that, most people say Resident Evil 2, even the original version, is just better than the original 1 in every way. Or in most ways. And then most people even there would say the 2 Remake is better than 2 Original. But then, of course, there's 4. Now, 4 is also on our list, of course. And Resident Evil 2 is also on our list. Those are going to be harder for me to argue about, but I think for Resident Evil this one, 1996 original, no. No, I'm going to say no. Not one of the best games of all time. Most important, most influential, yes, of course, blah, blah, blah. Not one of the best. But unlike Parappa the Rapper, this one appeared on a lot of different lists of best games of all time. I don't know, it looks like maybe 15. But yeah, I mean, I would think a lot of people would agree that it's one of the most influential games of all time. So journalists get confused. Yeah. So, I've never had much interest in going back to playing the earlier Resident Evils, even the remakes, because I just don't care that much for survival horror, and I like the newer. I like 4, I like 5, I even like 6. I like 8. 7 was okay, but I thought it was a little sort of scary. And I don't care for that much, but it was okay. Whereas 8 toned it down, I felt, and was just ridiculous, but just a nice action game with horror themes. And that's what I want out of Resident Evil. But yeah, there you have it. I think we've said enough. Sure. My name is Mangg. This has been Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time with Resident Evil. I'll see you fine folks next time.